Let's talk about a topic that I think you're going to know pretty well. Who's Adriana?
Well, maybe I don't know that very well.
With all this traveling
Now,
that you've done, 2 years of pandemic, where you've been working from home, like you must have had some time to think about who am I?
it's fun. Sometimes we avoid doing that, right? I think sometimes it's painful to actually realize who you are. Um, but I think I've done a little bit that before deciding to go for this, sabbatical year.
Hmm.
Um, I'm someone who loves learning and loves understanding new things and experiencing different cultures. That's why I love traveling, because that's when I have opportunity to know things differently and have a different view of the world. And I'm a very curious person, and I would say it's the best definition that I can give about myself. I am interested in a lot of things. I'm interested in about people. I'm interested in about society, culture, and how things are getting done, and thinking process, and all of that. Every time that I'm traveling around, I was like, oh my god, but how do they think about doing that? And this is something that really drives me. Um, but more than it's funny. I think I haven't had a time to think more deeply about that. Who am I, other than this curious person who loves learning?
It's really interesting you say that. For me, my best ideas and the most reflection that I do, like just thinking about stuff, happens on flights. Like I remember, like every time I get into, because Australia is far away from everywhere, right? So as soon as you fly anywhere, it's like 2 days later. So whenever I'm on a flight, there's two things that I do, right? So I sit down, I make sure it's an aisle seat because I want to I just want to walk around. So I'm on an aisle seat. There's two things I do. First thing I do is I go, can I please have a scotch? The second thing I do is, can I have some pen and paper? And I'll just start writing stuff because as you're flying for so long, you're just thinking about so many different things, whether it's ideas of what you want to do or who you are or what you want to be. And yeah, like I find that to be a very relaxing, almost like a meditative type experience. I also find long drives, like for example, a couple of years ago, so the year before pandemic, so 3 years ago, before pandemic, driving from Sydney back to Melbourne, very long drive, very boring drive. I don't know if you ever driven that, but it's such a boring drive. Got cruise control on. I'm just driving away. There's like hardly any cars. And in my mind, like what I was thinking about was basically this moment. I was thinking one day I want to start a YouTube channel and I want to help people by explaining concepts and make education tangible. But I also want to share people's stories. Like I've met some amazing people like you, and I want to share your stories with other people so that they might get inspired by it, or they might go, oh yeah, I'm going through this, or I want to do that and be pushed that next level. So I find those two experiences, right? So long drives and airplane flights as something that helps me reflect on who I am. But who did you want to be when you were growing up?
I want to be someone who helps, who serves. And I would like to, I like helping people. I like making things, and when I think about working, even what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make purpose for someone else to read and understand it. And I'm this kind of person who likes to put together these kind of puzzles and then explaining to others what it's like. I need to improve that. I'm not very good at it sometimes, because sometimes I think I'm a fast learner. And then I don't see sometimes the struggle for people who doesn't get that fast as I do. So I need to start to be more conscious about that and trying to, improve these kind of things. But this is something that I really like doing. And the way that I like to get to know experiences from others, I like to share my own experiences too.
Fantastic.
And
And I think in everything you just said right there, I would say like your superpower would be to enable other people to reach their potential, which I think is a very powerful superpower to have. When you were growing up, what did you want to be? Like you must have been surrounded with amazing people. What did you want to be?
I didn't have a concept per se. What I wanted is being, and it might sound weird, but I wanted to travel around. And even when you think I mean English, I've learned mostly by myself. And then after I started, working, and then I could pay for it, then I was already in advanced level. Because I wanted so much to be able to communicate with people, to travel around, that I did that by myself. I studied to be able to understand people and to communicate. So I think that was something that I've always dreamt of.
Okay, interesting. And growing up in Brazilian culture, Brazilian society, is there ever a push to be something in particular? Like, for example, right, being Indian, there are 3 jobs that are acceptable: doctors, engineers, and third one maybe lawyers, I guess, or some other doctor, like do a PhD. I would say that's probably even more preferential. Yeah, provided it's not in like political science, because you're not going to make money that way, or social work, you're not going to make money that way. At least that's the concept. Is there such a thing in Brazil as well?
I think most valued professions around here are basically the same: engineers, doctors, and lawyers. And I didn't do anything of those. But I think that drives you mostly. But then it's hard to get approved in the tests for the university for those professions, because it's very, the number of people competing for the same positions are huge. So they demand a lot.
Now, in your background, I can see like there's products and stuff over there.
Yeah, it's like, I've been running around here. So 2 has fallen off. I have glued it here, but now.
Oh,
So each step of the races that I completed, I got one of those pieces of this puzzle here.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it was all virtual, so it was good. During this pandemic situation, I had something to do.
Yep. So wait, did you do virtual running, or was the running actually?
Yeah, it was running as a race, but anyone could do it at any time.
Wow.
You have to go everybody at the same place at the same time. So
that is such a cool concept.
Yeah. And then they sent home the shirt, and then the medals for each of the how can I say that?
Each of the races, or each of the accomplishments?
Yeah, each of the accomplishments, until I finished this map here.
Cool. So what's on it? Like, just walk us through it.
Yeah, it's the Mexican here. And for each one of them, there was a different kilometer to be running. I don't remember exactly how much. I think one was 5, another was 8, another was 10, and the longest I think was 23.
23 kilometers.
Yeah, but then I walked more than I ran.
Okay.
I don't run that much. And then I have like the Mexican, Peru, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Cristo Redentor, Petra, Coliseo, Taj Mahal, and the Chinese Wall.
Interesting. And is there like a running theme as well? Like when you're running through the Colosseum, you have to wear a helmet and a gladiator suit?
No. The name of the run is Run for 7, the 7 Wonders of the Modern World.
Brilliant.
So for each of these new wonders, we had to run a certain distance. And then we were granted. We have to show them a proof that we have run. So we can show them like a picture of the smartwatch, or if I ran on a treadmill, I can just take a picture and send to them, proving that I ran a certain distance. Yeah, and then they sent the pieces for this.
That's fantastic. How did you even come across that? How did you find it?
Internet. Yeah.
So you
I have a friend.
So did you just Google like what to do during pandemic?
Not exactly like that, but I usually follow some of those, because before the pandemics, I used to run on those street races that they organized. And then during the pandemics, these kind of events were canceled. And then they decided to do something different for the audience. And then they started to put together these virtual races around.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was great. It was good. It was really good.